for only men can change society. God save the rainbow, let the sunshine never end. If we could turn this world around and start all over again, all men should come together to achieve a common goal. Love, peace, and harmony should strike their very soul. Look around you, don't pretend that the world isn't coming to an end. People killing and fighting than ever before, starving and dying increasingly more. What of our children will they live to see? The unspoiled beauty of flowers and trees, mountains and rivers, valleys and fields, or only suffer man's
Om Shanti, everyone. Can you hear me?
Yes, Om Shanti. Good
Om
night.
Shanti. Good night, good evening, wherever you are. I have to change my location. I'm outside because some work is being done inside, so I didn't want a nice to affect. So I am very happy as usual to spend this time with you, to have these elevated discussions, and for us to bond spiritually. It's not very often we will have conversations like these. And for those of you who are here, welcome. You could have been elsewhere. You could have been doing something else, but you choose to be here. You choose to come and partake in a conversation that is uplifting, high vibe, and where you could share and we could share and learn from each other as well. It is not a one-sided thing. I am benefiting from sharing. So welcome once again to another session of Monday's Insights. And I do hope that we will have a wonderful hour or so together. So the topic is so fitting this evening because it coincides with a very special celebration that originated from India and is celebrated all over the world. So when Sister Kennedy reached out to me and she told me that, I'll be doing the Monday Insight for the 2nd of March that coincides with all the celebration. I right away, I said, I like this because it is a really auspicious time. From a material standpoint, that is one of the time where persons come together, they put aside their differences, and they color each other with these various colors, and they have a wonderful celebration. So it is always nice when we could come together and be happy and be one, but not just for an occasion. These are experiences that we wish could last as long as possible. But just like most auspicious events, whether it's Diwali, whether it's Pagwa, whether it's Christmas, Valentine, you name the special occasion, you find that, yes, for that day, for that one day, we have this celebration, and then after that, that's it. We go back to our normal ways for many of us. And there's more than just coming together and celebrating physically, and it's so temporary. The joy don't continue for days, it don't continue for weeks. It just lasts like for a day and that's it, right? So we want to empower ourselves in such a way that whatever we do, it's lasting. It could last a lifetime, and it could radiate from us, whatever it is, this positive feeling radiate from us. So when persons are in our company, they are colored by our vibration in a positive way. Not just be colored by our vibration, but in a positive way. So tonight's topic is the true colors of the soul, spiritual meaning of colors beyond the physical. So today we gather in joyful spirit for this auspicious occasion of Holi, the Festival of Colors, also known as Phagwah. And it's a celebration, as I said before, not just for external vibrancy, but also for our inner spiritual radiance. So the question I would like to ask you, something to ponder on. When you think of colors, what comes to your mind? When you hear the word colors, you could just one word. When you hear the word color or colors, what comes to your mind? What kind of feeling it evokes? And from that feeling, what one word comes to your mind? You can open and share. You can open your mics and share. One word. And you hear about colors.
Red.
Okay, red. But in terms of your emotion or a feeling,
Beauty.
beauty,
Om Shanti, Sister Sherry.
Om Shanti, Brother Darshan.
Good evening. Good evening.
Evening.
Nice to see you. Nice to see you once again. Yeah, I would go with beautiful.
Beautiful,
Full. Beautiful.
beautiful.
Yes.
Notice you're emphasizing on the full.
Yes. Beautiful. Thank you very much.
Thank you too. Any other response? Colors. What feeling it evokes within you?
Colorful excitement.
Excitement, colorful excitement. Yes.
Decorate,
When you hear
decoration,
decoration. And if you notice the answers that you're giving is all positive.
Shanti. Love, happiness.
Yes, love, happiness,
Fragrance,
pardon me,
fragrance,
fragrance, fragrance, yes. All those are associated with colors. And when you think of colors, you could never really think of something negative. It's peace, it's beauty, it's love, it's happiness, radiance, fragrance,
Joyful.
celebration, pardon me,
Joyful.
joyful.
Mhm.
So when we think about colors, it evokes a positive feeling, a positive emotion, because remember, we're not looking at any one specific color. We're talking about colors in general, right? So it evokes a feeling. So today we are going to explore colors, not from like a physical standpoint, but there's a inner deeper meaning to the word colors. And I know that some of you will already know where I'm coming from. So we're gonna explore the true colors of the soul. That's what we're gonna do today. So from time to time in our daily life and going about, we will normally encounter different characters, persons with different colors, they make different contributions, and in terms of their speech, in terms of how they react, and so on. And sometimes you will know someone who seems to be nice at first, and you know they're going around, you get along with them, and then something goes wrong, and that person display some negative emotion like rage or anger. And what do we say? The person what? They show their anyone? What they show? They're showing their
True colors.
true colors. So we say they're showing their true colors.
Very
Right?
good.
Yes. So it's a normal layman term we would use when person react a certain way. Oh wow, they're showing their true colors. Especially if it's something, if it's a negative response, a negative behavior, especially anger and rage and so on. So, oh wow, now they're showing the true colors. It's just like couples when they marry. Everybody on the P's and Q's. Everybody, you know, they want to make any mistake, everybody nice. And then way into the marriage now, gradually, they start showing each other's true colors. And then things start so, right? But that is not a true color of the soul. That is just from a body conscious perspective. So when we say true colors, it's not really true colors. Those are not true colors indeed. So colors are not just, pardon me, Mr. Hiria?
Virtues.
Yes. Colors, thank you very much. Colors are not just the colors that we see or the reaction that persons give, so they show their true colors and all of that. As Sister Hillia would have said, the colors are the virtues. The colors are the virtues. And I could remember for those of you who may be new to maybe you might not be a Brahmin student or maybe now taking the course. I don't know who's online, but I could remember when we had a class, a Murli discussion, Brother Porshik said something. He said that light is made up of 7 colors and something to the effect that when you really examine white light, or light in itself, sorry, it is made up of 7 colors. And the 7 colors represents, we can use it, sorry, to represent the 7 virtues of the soul. So what you're saying there, Sister Hill, is so true. The soul is virtuous. The soul is special. Don't worry with what you see, how a person might display in a negative way. That is not them. And you know, I listened to a program a couple of years ago, and I could remember this person saying, I can't remember their name, and they're saying that, okay, this person is asleep. It doesn't mean that they're sleeping. It's just that they're not awakened as yet to their true potential of the soul. So you find people react a certain way because they are not fully awakened to their true identity. There's a blockage. And for me, everybody will not be awake in that way. Not everybody will be at the same stage. I wasn't like this before where I know all these things. But even with this knowledge that I've had, you find that from time to time I do get carried away and forget who I am. Forget that I'm a soul-filled person, you know, and the qualities that really governs the soul aspect of me, right? So from time to time we become body conscious and get carried away. So colors affect our mood, they affect our vibration and everything. And from the perspective of the Brahmin teaching, right? It's a tiny point of light. It's a being of energy. It's mostly energy seated in the center of the forehead. So I just want to get that here for those persons who may not be aware that the soul is not a physical something. We are physical as a body. The soul is the driver of this body, and this body is just a chariot. So, as much as possible, we want to shine in such a way that the true colors of the soul shine through this matter for the body. We want it to come out and we want it to shine so that persons can recognize it and be influenced and be colored by it, as I said before. So, colors are language through which the soul express feelings. And when a person, like for example, as Brahmins, we wear white, you think about it. You see somebody with all over white, right away, something positive clicks. You think about purity, you think about peace, you think about calm. It has a calming feeling when you wear this white, all over white. It signifies something kind of special, right? So colors in the physical sense affects how we feel. It affects our thought process because when you think about color, and I'm talking about the physical aspect first, when you think about color, people don't really be drawn to the color black. You find that persons will more like the red, the green, the yellow, and so on. You think about flowers. Think about the various colors of flowers put together. Think about when you go to the market and you look at the fruit stall. And you think about how it attracts you, these various colors, it kind of stand out. So when we're looking at colors from a physical standpoint, it affects our emotions, it affects how we see things, right? So one of the things I would like to emphasize before I get more into the topic is that the soul as light. When we talk about the soul, then we go into the virtue, right? So, and these are just reminders because I know that most of you on this call, you know what I'm talking about. So it's nothing kind of new to you. The soul is not the body. The soul is light. And just as white light contains a spectrum of 7 colors, the soul contains 7 original virtues. And these virtues are peace, love, purity, happiness, power, knowledge, and bliss. So these are the 7 true colors of the soul that we will not see, but it is expressed through our thoughts, our words, our actions, our deeds, and the service that we do. And it is there, but to some extent, it is not 100%. We could never say that we never feel peace at no time at all. We could never say that we never feel love or purity or happiness or feel empowered or gain some kind of knowledge that will empower us or feel bliss at some time. We get, based on where we are spiritually, we experience all of this. We experience it, but it may not be like 100%, but we do, it's there, but you find that it is suppressed. It is suppressed. And I'll get to the point where I will tell you how we can, remove the heaviness so that our true colors can shine through. So when I asked about colors, somebody said red, right? So the first color we're going to look at, we're using the colors of the spectrum. We're going to choose red. And red, on a physical sense, we know that persons associate it sometimes with anger. I don't know how many of you know the term when you get vexed and so, like, oh, this person like I see red, be associated with anger. But it doesn't have to be associated with anger. Somebody make you see red and you see red and so on. It is it's associated with power. And you know, red represents strength. It also represents courage. So the spiritual meaning is the power to face situations without fear. So when we think of red, we don't think of anger, we think of courage, we think of strength and determination to face any difficulty that may come our way. So how can we transform this red into something positive? For example, instead of becoming angry, we maintain our peace and we respond in a calm, collective, and composed way. So when we think of the color red, don't think of it in terms of anger, but think of it in terms of love and power and strength and courage and determination to face whatever situation. So we can use red as a spiritual tool. We think of red, but we think of the spiritual meaning behind it. The next color on the spectrum is orange, which symbolizes knowledge. And orange, well, I don't associate anything negative with orange. It's all about wisdom, being wise, and understanding who you are, what is right, who I am, and what is right from wrong. And according to the forefather of this Brahmin foundation, Brahma Baba, this is a quote from him, which says, knowledge is a light that removes darkness of ignorance. So when you think of orange, you think of knowledge. And for those who are in this study, will understand that knowledge really has a very deeper, powerful meaning that I won't go into just for the sake of persons who are on the call maybe for the first time or so, right? So instead of reacting emotionally, you use your wisdom. Think and pause before responding. And when someone, like for example, people from time to time, we are tested. And as I said, it's only today, I wasn't able to use my right colors. You know, I'm straight up and I'm speaking, you know, from the heart. I'm in a work environment that can be very, what am I saying? If you're not careful, you really lose your color, your true colors. Today I had to show a color that is not my true color in order for someone get a message. Because sometimes you talk in a calm way, you talk in a peaceful way, and they don't get it. So sometimes you just have to be a bit stern and a bit firm. So sometimes the wisdom, as much as I say this here, this is a learning experience for me. I'm not perfect. So as much as I say this is a lesson for me to think before responding, you know, to keep that composure, that foundation, that steady foundation. So it takes a lot of practice and patience to really just let the positive colors shine through. So can anyone on the call, I don't want to be talking all the time, can anyone on the call share any situation where you responded to a situation using wisdom? We're thinking about the color orange, which is associated with wisdom. Can anyone share, when was the last time you made a decision using wisdom instead of impulse? Something happened and you wanted to respond a certain way, unlike me, that was supposed to use wisdom today. I responded in a not so positive way, but the person got the message. That's a surprising thing. But we're supposed to use wisdom. And as I'm emphasizing this because it takes courage. It's easy to become reactive and lash out, but it takes a lot of courage and restraint to hold back and maintain that decorum. Anyone would like to share? Where they were faced with a situation, an impulse, you wanted to react, but then wisdom step in, and you were able to use the knowledge and your wisdom to combat that situation. Anyone can share. Oh, it doesn't have to be anything big, like where you find yourself in a situation and you use wisdom. Maybe you said something before you respond, maybe you would go within. Maybe you said some affirmation, something to help to neutralize that feeling of anger or frustration. Then just let it go. Anyone? Okay, okay. Well, I'll continue then. No one had any situation or so recently. Okay, I'll continue. By looking at the color green, which is associated with peace. So green reflects calmness and balance. So when you think of green, you think of peace. Also, white is associated with peace. So the colors that I'm using on the spectrum, it is not fixed. All the positive words and feelings can be used to describe them, right? The next color is blue, and blue represents depth and trust, right? So when you think about blue, you think about unconditional love, not love with attachment in the sense that, okay, you love this person because of what they can do for you, or you only appreciate this person based on what they can do for you. It's unconditional love, love without attachment. So loving someone without controlling them, to the extent where you are easily hurt by something that they may or may not do. So that was blue. Then we have indigo, which represents purity. And purity means also white could be purity. Purity means clean thoughts and intentions. Not just thoughts alone, but intentions, actions. So it's not just you are a certain way when no one, when people are watching you display a certain behavior, and then when force is not there, then it's the opposite. Whether you are at home, whether you are in public, it is the same color. It is the same feeling in terms of your thoughts, your words, and your intentions. So when no one is watching, what colors are we radiating? We must not show colors like when, we in the public eye, we show for the most part, when persons are around, we display one behavior and then behind closed door, a different behavior, right? So I would like to talk now. I would like to speak now about the virtues. I have some jottings here. Let me just take a moment to get that. So we talk about the colors like from a physical standpoint. What I explained, those are not the colors of the soul. Those are just from a physical standpoint as to how we can let colors influence us in a positive way and make us radiate the positiveness of what the colors represent. So I did look at the virtues in terms of peace and love and so on. So in the meantime, is there anyone who would like to share? While I find the jotting of what I have. Anyone would like to share? The last one I would like to talk about is bliss. All right. So bliss is deep spiritual contentment. And one of the ways in which we can experience bliss is through meditation. Raja Yoga meditation, where you sit in peace and calm and you connect with Supreme Soul. And bliss is more expansive. It's more than just happiness and joy. There's a higher vibration, very high. So that in its sense is one of the, what must I say, the highest virtue of all. So there were some notes that I had seen about the virtues, but I don't seem to be seeing it here, so I'll continue. But anyone would like to share so far on the virtues of the soul, which is knowledge, which is power, knowledge, happiness, peace, love, unity, and bliss. Okay. So I'll continue. So the virtues, as I said before, they are already in the soul and they're simply revealed based on our actions. And also spiritual practice kind of bring them out. So after I would have joined the Raja Yoga meditation group, I would have developed a different personality. I am not so easily triggered or easily hurt and so on. It really helps me to be grounded. And as I said, it's a work in process. It's a work in progress. So I have a question for you now. What are some of the things that block our inner colors from shining? Early in the conversation, I would have mentioned a couple or so. What blocks our inner color from shining through? It's not just one thing alone. It's many things that could block it from shining through.
Could be
Yeah.
sun scars.
The sun scars. Everybody know what are sun scars, right? Cecilia, could you explain just for anyone who's joining for the first time, the sanskars.
Good night, Om Shanti. Sanskars like habits, no?
Yeah.
Like habits. This is my habit. This is my nature. This is how I speak. You know, it's sanskars that we create.
It
But
could
I
create
would.
a blockage.
Mhm.
And for some of us, we hold on to the habits, the old ones too, that is not serving us. And
Right.
sometimes we adapt
And
the
then,
self. Yes,
and
Mr.
then
Hicks.
when we hold on to that and then we use it, we lose our peace and the inequality.
Yeah. We lose our true colors and it becomes stagnant. So we just have to be mindful of the sanskars, the habits,
Habits.
and we must not be the old ones that is no longer serving us. We should we should let go of them. We want to get it, but gradually let it go. And the ones that are serving us, that will help us on our spiritual growth, that is the one we foster. Right? Thank you for that answer, sister. So any other thing that could block our colors from shining through apart from the sanskars?
Om Shanti.
Om Shanti.
Om Shanti. Yeah. Our thoughts when they're not pure, our words, our behavior, they all have to be when we're connected to God and we have a love and purity, then we are able, to spray the colors, and benefit the other souls. But if our thoughts, our words, and behavior are not pure, that would block us. Om Shanti.
Om Shanti. Thank you, sister. So our thoughts, we have to be mindful of our thoughts because with the thoughts, it's kind of a bit, what I must say, it's challenging because sometimes we're thinking and we're not realizing because it is so, what I must say, so fluid that sometimes different things we will be passing through our mind, these different thoughts, and they're coming, and some of them are not beneficial. And if our thoughts are not positive, our thoughts are not pure, then somehow it affects our action. So you find that our speech could be affected. Because remember, everything begins with a thought. It starts in the mind, the form of a thought. And if the thought is not positive, then our words will be contrary, our actions will be contrary, and that is how we develop blockages to our true color, which was the virtue that I mentioned before. Any other example? What else can block our colors from shining through? Our true colors.
I mentioned prejudice.
Prejudice. Yes. All of that.
Attitude.
The attitude. And for some of us, sometimes we unconsciously harbor birth in our mind. And on a surface level, we might tell ourselves that, look, I forgive this person. Or I don't have anything against this person. Or I like this person, or I like everybody, irrespective of who they are. But that is just on a surface level. But on a deep subconscious level, remember we have two consciousness. We have the conscious and we have the subconscious. The conscious is on the surface. So it's kind of superficial. But with the subconscious, you might feel conscious, with a conscious way that, oh, look, I forgive this person. But deep down at the subconscious level, you didn't forgive them. And it is there. It is there, and it's harboring there. It's just like childhood thoughts, right? For some of us, things happened to us when we were a child, but we cannot remember. But it's not gone away. It's deep within that subconscious mind. And sometimes you might want to know, like, why persons would be a certain way or react a certain ways, that it is there and they haven't healed, you know? So if we have bad feelings towards each other, then there's a blockage there. And what I'm thinking is that as human beings, we are supposed to be angelic, especially I think that we are being tested in so many ways to let us understand that you have to be angelic, you have to be loving, you have to be kind 100%, 100%, So thank you, sister, for that. In terms of having prejudice, any other thing that could block our true colors from shining?
Thank you, Sister Sherry. I was thinking fear.
Oh, yes. Fear and
It's just
worry.
yeah.
Yeah, fear. As one sister friend would tell me, from a Christian background, she said fear is false evidence appearing real, and it is so true. Because of fear and because we are fearful of what others would think. I could remember when I first joined the Raja Yoga discipline, and I started attending the center, the classes on Sunday. I could remember where I used to live before. The landlady wasn't kind of open to certain things. And I didn't want to make her get angry at me. She would make certain remarks, if you understand what I mean. And so I used to put on my ordinary clothes when I'm walking out. And when I go in the car, then I would put on my white top and so on, because I didn't want her to see me and ask me what I'm wearing and this sort of thing. And also, eventually I did it for a while, like a couple of months. Then eventually I said, look, this doesn't make sense. Whatever she think, whatever she believe, so be it. God will provide. I don't have to worry about anything, because some of them become so angry, they will give you notice to move out. Things like that. You have to be careful with people. And I let that hinder me for months until I decided to let go and say whatever happened. And a day I came in from classes, she was outside, and I said good morning to her, and she left looking at me. She was watching at me, but like it didn't register. So it just goes to show that all these months I was in apprehension, fearful that if she see me, what she gonna react, and so she saw me, I was nothing. Thanks be to God, everything. He never asked me anything, like why and so. So sometimes that in its sense, if will follow our true color, because if we if our true virtues come true, there's no place to fear. There's no place to fear. You will just know who you are, and you will just like be blissful. And they have persons who reach that stage. They have persons who they're not bothered by what people think. They know that I am forever as a soul. And if we should really deeply understand that we cannot be destroyed. Remember, the soul is energy. Energy cannot be destroyed. It cannot be. We are forever beings. And we are just here experiencing a play. We are in this play together so that we could achieve certain things. For those of you know what I'm talking about. So any other example before
Sister
I
Sherry, along
go?
with the soul is energy, the soul is truth.
Yes.
Truth. That's incident with that landlady. You pass a karmic, you settle a karmic account, and you feel like you move on.
Yeah.
It's like a book. It's a page. You turn the page and you go on to another page.
Oh, yes. That is so true. You know? Yeah, when you're reading a book, you don't be back and forth. You read a page, when you finish, you turn the next page and you continue. Line after line, script after script. Anyone else would like to share? Things like
Om
ego.
Shanti.
Om Shanti.
I
Good
would
evening.
like to share one thing is like if you constantly remember Baba, there is no fear. You fear nothing. What color are you? You remain what color you are. You don't show any other color. Because if you know that you represent the image, what image you represent, you stay on that. And people will respect you for who you are. You don't have to hide, you don't have to tell anybody anything. You just you just go about. And if something bothers you, you just talk to Baba. Baba, I'm going here, you protect me, you show me the way, and you protect me from any harm and whatever it is. So I don't have a problem with color. I don't show any color. I'm always calm. First time I never used to be that way. Everything I afraid of. But since I'm with the Raj Yoga Center and I know Baba, I don't fear anything. I just calm. People would say something. I won't get angry. I would just let it pass. Because people just interrupt your peace. Because I got a neighbor and they got some fowls. I plant up some things. And when I go in the yard, I got some pepper. There's no pepper. They eat out all the pepper, eat the leaf, just the bare stick stand up. So I stood up and I said, what should I do? Easy lesson, good for dunce. And when I see, that is the way now, if you want to show your true colors, with the start out and cross up and say, so I just leave it that way. I said, it will work out some way or the other. Probably first time you would have been able to get on and go on, but now you calm down, you show your colors now.
Yeah.
Om Shanti, I don't, yeah?
Om Shanti. Thank you
Om
for sharing.
Shanti.
Yes. You said something very important. Remembering Baba, remembering the Father, remembering God, remembering Supreme Soul. And we could only do that by going within, by being quiet, by being silent, and build that magnetism, I should say, you know. And as we learn in Morley classes, that is a way to recharge the soul by making that connection. Just like your phone, when it run down, you gotta charge it up to give it light. You gotta recharge the battery. For your for sometimes even your vehicle to get it running. So we just can't be like that. We just can't be like that, or else we're gonna gather a set of dirt on ourselves. Not real dirt, but we gather dirt on ourselves and we become heavy. It's just like a mirror that is very, very dusty. You go into an old house, it wasn't used for a long time, and you look at the mirror, and the mirror is covered with dust. But if you take your hands, or a cloth, I should say, you wipe that mirror. You wipe off the dust, the mirror is still there, shiny, isn't that so? Likewise with the soul that is in the center of the forehead. Now we remove the dust, it's here. Likened to Supreme Soul, or likened to God, likened to Baba. So it's all about getting back to who we are, going back to that original state. You think about a child, and we had this example before. Persons would have given this example. When a child come into the world for the first time, for the first 5 years or so, oh my gosh, they're so pure, they're so carefree, they're so loving. You know, the parents give them a lash or so, they don't have time. The very moment they're gonna hug the mother dear, they have no malice. They don't compare and get things in the mind and say, oh, you know, mommy give me a lash, I'm finished with her, I'm gonna deal with her. No, they don't have that. They come back to you. You understand? That out of their mind, you know? So they come in, and what really happened is that due to indoctrination, influence from the environment, when they grow up, that's it kind of changes. And as they get older and older, they start forming opinion, they start showing grudges, jealousy, anger, hatred, and so on, start building up. It start building up. So it's just like a beginning. You come in nice and clean and fresh. But then as time go by, you become colored in a negative way. And then, you know, all this personality, and then some of us, we may not like how we look, we become body conscious, all sort of things. But then guess what? There's an evening for those of us who live long enough. When you reach a certain age, you start going back. You realize something is missing. And then you start asking questions, and you start searching, and you want to make that connection again. So in the beginning, you come in nice and clean and fresh and pure, you know, and then you start getting colored. Your original soul quality is hidden, or I should say blocked. But then as time go by, as you get older, you start thinking what really matters. What really matters to me in this life. And then we start doing the soul searching. Because it's only when for me is in my late 40s, no, my early 40s, something tragic happened. And then I realized that, hey, you know, it's then it started make me do this searching, and I was drawn to this discipline and so on. But if it wasn't for that, and some days I would sit and reflect, no, if this thing didn't happen, if this bad thing didn't happen, would I would have wanted to be closer to God, to learn more about myself and who I am, I would have been living life as per normal, you know? So I say that to say this, that sometimes tragic events would happen for some of us to take us back to the beginning and let us understand our true self, our true soul quality, bring us back to closer to Supreme Soul for some of us. Anyone else would like to share? Anytime.
Shanti, Sister Sherry,
Shanti.
everyone. Yeah, you know what you just said is like, you know, first we the souls, we need to first color the self, right? By connecting to God's Bible's unconditional love and purity. Then we'll be really ready to spray them on everyone. We have to connect and get that color, you know. First color is the self by connecting to God.
Yeah.
When you color the self, then we're able to color with that unconditional love and purity. We're able to and ready to spray it on everyone else, you know, through our thoughts, words, behavior. And that's when you'll have harm, peace, compassion, and harmony. We bring that to every soul, and we'll dissolve all our differences. That's the only way. That is why during Pago time, for those who, you know, who were Hindus, they know that's a time they say that you must, in the devotion way, you must put aside your differences. I remember growing up where they would, you know, like elderly people, they will hug each other. They never used to be, you know, they had some problem, but this is the time they come together and they hug and they forgive each other. So we have these colors now, and we have to put everything as Papa, you know, put this morally, explain everything about the holy, H-O-L-I, H-O-L-Y. and so forth. Om Shanti. Thank you.
Om Shanti. Thank you, sister. Thank you for sharing. Yeah, so I really welcome all the contributions that you would have made, for each and every one of you that said something. It kind of get me thinking more and more, about this whole festival. And, we wish that the world could be colored in such a way, as you said, Sister Lena, in terms of putting aside the differences. And so look what we have going on. As time go by, we just seeing more aggression in certain parts of the world, more and more aggression. You understand? For instance, they're so easily angered to the extent where they use violence, and irrespective of how many persons are dying and affected, it's business as usual, so. But for us, as you said, it has to be with us, it starts with us individually. It starts with us. And then from us, it kind of it branches out. Anyone else would like to share? So we have we have things like anger, ego, jealousy, all these things, body consciousness on the whole, attachment, all these things color the true colors of the soul. And once we make a conscious effort to let go of them and connect to Supreme Soul and connect to the Father, we will recharge our inner battery, which is the soul, to remember. It's all about remembrance and connecting. So the more we connect, the more the dust. I think in our morning class we will say rust, not dust. We say rust. It will be removed, and it's just like a diamond. When you take a diamond is full of mud, oh gosh, you don't even believe that in the end that, from that to this, all shining, sparkling. But it takes work. It takes effort to bring it to that glitter, right? So anyone else would like to share before I continue?
So it all begins with me to bring out, anything negative that is right, so I can able to shine. Because if I don't bring it out, if I don't check and see those things and bring them out and get rid of it, how I can help someone else.
Exactly. So if we
have to work on myself then.
Yeah.
And see that those colors, those beautiful colors, let them remain. And don't let it get blur. The colors, sometimes they get blur.
Yes. Yeah.
So they mustn't get blur. They must keep the right sheen, the right color there. They mustn't fade. They mustn't fade. The color
yes. It mustn't fade.
must
So
remain bright. Because when it start to fade, now I have to check and see what causing it to fade.
it could fade. Exactly. Yeah. That's so wonderful.
Om Shanti. That is why tonight, Holika, they're burning Holika. So we got to burn those fading colors, the Pisces. Om Shanti.
Yes, his devices making it fade.
Yeah, the ego, anger, greed,
Subtle.
lust.
Like this. If someone tell me something, you get a little dislike in this, make it fade.
Yeah.
It fade.
Sister Sherry, Om Shanti.
Om Shanti, brother.
Sharing a practical example with you. Practical example. Example, right?
Yeah.
You write, get a pen and write all the negative thing. Whatever you want to write it on. And you put it in a lotus leaf. You know what's a lotus, right?
Yeah.
So first you put it in a lotus leaf one by one, the lotus leaf, you throw it off. Whatever you want to write it on. You want to write it on paper, cloth, brick, whatever. From the moment you put it in the leaf, you throw it off. You think you follow the example?
Yes.
That's what we have to become.
Yeah.
Affected. And that is our true color. Unaffected.
Okay. And
You catch the example?
yes. And
Thank you.
nothing outside should really shape us
No.
and really color us in any way. It's not outside there, you know. It's all start from within. And it comes out. So that's how the lotus show it up. That's how we must be able to show it up.
One of the specialty of the lotus too, where it taking its sustenance from. Where the lotus taking its sustenance from and where I taking my sustenance from. It's two different things. One is down and one is up.
Yeah.
Where I taking my sustenance from is up. The lotus taking sustenance down. You follow?
Yes.
Thank you.
Elevated. Yes. Thank you, Brother.
Sister Sherry,
Yes, sister.
Sister
Nina?
Sherry, no, this is Diana. I was thinking, this whole year session, I joined late, but for me, summing everything together, my takeaway is in silence, we don't react. Silence allows us to revisit our subconscious and respond, and we respond with our true color.
Yes.
I think that was my takeaway from this whole thing, which is very beautiful. I just wanted to share that with you.
This is Sister Lisa. Is Sister Lisa this? It is Sister Lisa.
No. This is
Begin.
Diana.
Diana. Oh.
Diana, not Sister Lisa, no.
Oh.
Okay. Welcome, sister. Welcome. Thank you.
And the one with the iPhone is Sister Yvonne.
Okay. Yeah, thank you very much for sharing that. Yes. So you kind of summarize it here. Sum it up. Anyone else would like to share? I'm not seeing my entire screen. For some persons, I recognize the voice. My setting is such that I didn't set it in such a way where I'm seeing everybody, but for some person, I recognize the voice. And it's always responding.
We seeing you well.
Okay. So, anyone else would like to share? This is to say just now is so true, eh? So true.
Yeah, that is so true.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. She's in line with me.
Yeah. So, one of the things that we have to remember too, and you all share it, that the colors of the soul never fades. Not even after bathing, huh? It is always there, vibrant.
Right, it must be bright, not faded.
Yeah. When we have the celebration of Holi, we throw the powder, we throw it on our skin. There's a blend. There's a mix and a kind of oneness and so on. And you look and you see all the colors there. in the hair, on the skin or whatever. But when you go and bathe, what happens? The color washes away.
The
Yeah.
rainbow color.
Yes. It washes away, right? So,
And they get clean.
yeah. So instead of throwing powders, I mean, I'm not saying that we must not celebrate Holi and so on, but on a deeper level, when we throw powders, we throw powders of peace, we throw powders of love, joy, forgiveness, happiness, bliss. We just throw. So even for those of us who have the knowledge, when you play it tomorrow, silently, we throw, on that person, you think about the virtues. It may not do anything, but I mean, we think about it in that way. That we're not just showing a powder, but we're showing peace, love, joy, happiness, forgiveness, and everything. So somebody talk about burning the holika and associate with the burning of something, the burning of the vices. We could also associate it with the burning of old sanskars, old habits that is no longer serving us. When we burn away resentment, anger, and the vices, as one of the sisters mentioned before. So we use the fire of self-awareness to burn old patterns that are useless. And it only comes with maturity, knowledge, and understanding, and maturity, so that we can become colorful again. And the only way to become colorful is through connection with Supreme Soul, through yoga. And the original colors will re-emerge. So when we lose our original color, you find that it dims our inner light. So negativity is not the soul's nature. And even as I say it, when I see persons react a certain way sometimes, it's quick to judge. But if we should really be soul conscious, then we will not see the physical aspect of the person, because all souls are like that. If we only keep that in our mind, we need to really be so grounded, all souls are like that. So,
Mr. Shep, along with
uh-huh.
sanskar, habit, tendency, but we need to examine them. I can
Yeah.
have a positive habit. I can have a positive habit.
Yes.
So when we use the word habit, we need to understand negative and positive.
Yes.
So what attached to sanskar is tendency. I can have a positive tendency and a negative tendency.
Yeah.
So two things attached to sanskar, habit and tendency, both positive and negative.
Yeah.
Acha? Thank
Yeah.
you.
Thank you, Phil. So, in terms of our colors, we want our true color shine through. Instead of anger, we shine peace. Instead of fear, we
Shine
could
faith.
shine power. Yes, Sister Iria.
Faith.
Faith, yes. Instead of jealousy, we shine love. And I just want us to recite, just to, sit comfortably whilst I just say these few lines before we close. Very quietly, comfortably. I just get into that awareness and think of one of the colors that you would like to, strengthen. Yes, we have 7 colors. all of them may not be equal. So think of one color, which is a virtue, that you would like to emanate and like to show more of. What is that color that you want to radiate more from you? I am a tiny point of light. I'm tiny point of light, radiant, peaceful, a spectrum of 7 divine colors: red, power, orange, knowledge, yellow, happiness, green, peace, blue, love, indigo, purity, violet, bliss. I shine, I color the world as a soul that is like Pluto Supreme Soul. I express the qualities that makes me a true diamond, a true angel of peace, love, bliss, all the good things. I use my inner colors to color my outer world in a particular way. Om Shanti. Om Shanti.
Om Shanti, Sister Sharon. Good evening and good
Om-
night. You're very welcome.
Oh,
You're
Shanti. Thank you.
Om Shanti, sister.
Om
Om Shanti,
Shanti.
everybody.
Om Shanti, very well done. Nice.
Thank you. See you all tomorrow morning. And happy Holi. Have a good
Up.
celebration.
Happy
But
Holy.
yes,
Fast is fast.
fast is fast.
Full stop.
Be in Baba's company.
Okay. Combine. Follow with Baba's
Combine.
remain combined.
Yes, we may combine.
The holy.
Holy.
One holy is past, the next holy color with his by his companion and remain combined.
Yes. God's companion.